Have you ever wondered how much money you can save by starting your seeds indoors? Over the past few years, if you've been to a gardening center, you'll notice that the price keeps increasing each year. Eating healthy at the grocery store is even more expensive. So why not start the seeds yourself and grow your own healthy food? In this video, I'm going to show you the absolute best way to start your seeds indoors in 4 easy steps. A month ago, I turned this old workshop into this seed starting oasis. Planting your seeds is really easy. To start your seeds, all you need is your seed starting mix of choice, seed trays, seeds, heat, and moisture. Dump your mix into a big bowl. If you have to start a lot of seeds, then use a really big bowl. This will stop a lot of the spilling and the cleanup will be easy. With the seed starting mix, the reason you use it is because it's finer and it's lighter. It's usually made out of peat moss, vermiculite, or perlite for the air gaps. As your seeds germinate, the lightness of the seed starting mix will allow the roots to grow downward and the seedlings to push through towards the light. Anything heavier, some of your smaller seeds won't germinate. You can choose to pre-soak your seed starting mix or do it after. I always pre-soak. It clumps the soil together. I've got this paddle looking thing. It has something to do with baking. My mom gave it to me. I've spanked my way into gardening ever since. Paddle your seed starting mix into your trays. This year I'm trying to use whatever I can at home. My kids eat a ton of yogurt, so I'm using those containers. I've been reusing solo cups, trying to reuse the same things. It's pretty easy, but make sure you have draining holes in whatever you're using. I add draining holes by using a drill and a drill bit. For my yogurt containers, all I did was stack them and then use the drill through every single one. Fill whatever you're using to the very top and press down the bottom third of the mix. And this is so your seeds aren't going to move around and screw up your germination. Place 1 to 2 seeds on every seed cell or container. If you have older seed packages, then place 2 to 3 seeds since the germination rate goes down. Always follow the back of seed package instructions. If you can't read like me, then a good rule of thumb is to plant double the seed size and depth. Last year, I spent far too much time potting my plants up into bigger containers. I started everything in the smallest trays possible because of the limited space I had. This year, with the seed starting oasis I built, for the longer growing plants such as my tomatoes or peppers, I'll be using the red solo cups. Then my 1.5-inch seed cell trays for the slow growing vegetables such as lettuce and celery, or anything that could be transplanted into the garden within a few weeks. And the 3-inch seed cell trays for anything else. Add more soil on top to cover them like a blanket. Add more water to snug them in, and make sure the soil is moist at all times. Place your humidity dome over top. You can use plastic wrap, just try to cover it until your seeds have germinated. I use base trays to help move my seed trays around, and I use it to bottom water all my seed trays. Plus, bottom watering will promote deeper root growth, which is really good when you transplant them outdoors. In my second year of gardening, I knew that seeds needed heat and moisture to germinate. I figured the humidity dome could be left on my seed trays. The humidity dome is only for the germination process. Once 50% of your seeds are germinated, then remove the humidity dome immediately. I ended up having to start over and it sucked. There are some seeds that do better started indoors, and then some that are started with direct sowing. Any crops that take longer to grow, such as tomatoes, peppers, or eggplants, should be started indoors since you have to transplant them out after your last frost date. By starting them indoors, you give them a growing head start. You will get your harvest sooner, and a larger plant will be stronger to transplant. Rooted crops such as beets, carrots, and radishes don't like their roots disturbed at all. It's much easier to just direct sow them. Then there are crops that love the cool weather but take longer to grow. These are the brassicas such as broccoli or cauliflower and need to be started indoors and transplanted outside when the temperature is still cooler to mature properly. Yes, I get that it's all confusing. It was for me, so I went down a gardening rabbit hole. Last December, I spent 30 days and going through over 60 websites, trying to design the best garden planning schedule that worked for anyone, no matter where you lived. If you are interested in picking one of these secret weapons up, then check out the pinned link in the description. Listen, there are many ways to start your seeds. My way is to try to keep it as simple as possible. It works for me and I get great results from it. Don't let anyone overcomplicate it for you. Hopefully it works for you as well. Now that you know the absolute best way to start your seeds indoors, would you like to know the easiest way to grow and transplant your seedlings? Watch this video next to find out how. Love you. Bye.